Hey everyone, welcome back to Simply Makeup. In today's video, it is going to be a dupe for the new Natasha Denona XENON palette. I'm going to create two looks and then I'll reveal the palette to you. But before we start, I will show you some swatches from the palette. These are the swatches that I came up with to match the XENON palette by Natasha Denona. Now before I start, I want to leave you a little bit of encouraging word. And I am taking it from the Complete Pocket Positives. Today's encouraging word reads, "The great end of life is not knowledge but action." The great end of life is not knowledge, but action. That was said by Thomas Fuller. I hope this encourages you to think of life in a different way than maybe what you're used to. Try something new, try something different. Be careful on who and what you put your trust in. Now I start with the first look from the Dupe palette of Natasha Denona. Swatches again. Eyes are based and I'm ready to create the first look. Dupe in session, dupe in session. I'm going to use, it's a bluish gray, and from the palette that I see on YouTube, it looks like there is a very, very dark gray in there. It looks blue. So this is why I'm using this color right here. I'm going to put it all over my eyes so we can see the dupe. And I'm just going to share it like this. First eye, it's a grayish blue. In the swatches, it is this color right here in the swatches. This is what it looks like on my eye. This is what it looks like in the swatch. If you have your palettes out and you go through them, you might not be able to afford this $65 palette at this point. It is pretty because when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, this is a palette that is so beautiful. But I don't have that kind of money. So I got the idea from one of my sis. She's like, did you see the palette? I was like, yeah. She's like, create a sultry look, which I did, and you'll see that look that's coming up. And then in talking again last night, I was like, you know what? I can dupe this palette because the colors are so similar to the palette that I just received. This shade on my eyes. This is the first look from the palette that I'm duping for Natasha Denona. This is a single color eyeshadow look. One color, and I use my blue altar liner in the waterline, and the same color that's on top, I take and I put it in the lower lash line. This is the shade right here that I use all over my eyes to create that first look. This is it. It is so pretty. If you have that palette, take it out and do something fabulous. Now I'm going to do the second look. This is an all matte one eye color eyeshadow look. I'm going to do a shimmer over it so you can see different ways to use your dupe palette. I'll show you the palette soon. The palette is coming soon. But I am going to use a shimmer. And I know they have a nice shimmer. These are two shimmers from that palette. I'm going to use the brighter one so you can see how to bump up your look. So eyes have already been done, nothing major. I am just going to show you what you can do with your dupe palette by Natasha Denona. It is the what? It is the XENON palette. So you pop a little bit of that silver right here in the middle. You see? I can do it on the other eye. I'm doing it on the other eye right now. Same shade. So you can dupe your Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette. Just the palette I'm using is way cheaper, less expensive, more affordable, and I showed you the swatches. And like that, we have a two-color eyeshadow look, and the look is different. I have hooded eyes, so I tend to go a little bit higher. I keep my eye relaxed, and I go right here just a tad bit higher. So if you have hooded eyes, you can create a look. Just make sure when you look in the mirror, you can see your color. So now I just open my eyes and I go a little higher in here. Just in the middle. I just want to stay in the middle. If you want, you can put it all on your lids alone, and that would create a different eye look. Now you see my color? It is so pretty. So these are the colors from the XENON palette. I don't have the XENON palette, but I used the 35MI Magic Mirror palette by Morphe. And if you look very closely, all these colors I swatched, and some of these to show you. If you have this palette, you can have these swatches and you can create this eye look. This is my two-color eyeshadow look, and these are my two eyeshadow looks using the 35MI Magic Mirror Morphe palette. You will find the shades in here. And you can dupe the Natasha Denona XENON palette. These and these. You can get your color in here. It's a lot of grays, lots of dark grays, and a few black. This is a black with nothing in it. This is a black with a little shimmer. And I mean, you can create something beautiful. Create, have fun. I'm turning down the lights so you can see the look again. I'm turning it mostly so you can see the shades in the palette that you can use. It's these shades and these shades. And it is this palette. And these are the shades in lower lights. I hope you create something beautiful today that made your soul happy. Remember, life is short. Enjoy it. Keep rising. Never, ever, ever give up on self. And remember, you are not in it alone. I love you all. This is my look. And again, I will see you in the next video.